So it's no secret how incredibly successful the all-new JL Jeep Wrangler has been since Jeep first introduced the vehicle last year. However, the big dilemma is, what if you wanted the capability and looks of the Wrangler but needed the versatility of a pickup truck? Well, thankfully Jeep has finally delivered a vehicle to answer those cries. I'm at the 2018 Los Angeles International Auto Show, and this is the all-new 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Let's take a first look. So by now you guys should be pretty familiar with the design of the Jeep Wrangler. This all-new Gladiator literally takes the exact front fascia from the iconic Wrangler and basically kind of gives you its own slightly unique looks to it. This particular one that I'm showing you is the Overland trim. It's actually a new trim for the Gladiator. It's the new top of the luxury stack. You can see it's got standard full LED headlights, which are typically a $1,000 option on the other Wranglers. You have an LED turn signal here, an LED daytime running light, and then this one, being the more luxury-oriented trim, does not have the steel bumpers or the upgraded or elevated ride height that you get with the Rubicon model. Now this is actually surprisingly riding on a slightly unique frame, and because it's on a unique frame, Jeep was able to extend the length of this vehicle. Now let me talk about that in another part, but let me first look at the wheels. These wheels are more of a street-oriented tire that you got on the Overland trim. They're an 18-inch wheel design. They're wrapped in two 55 series tires, 70, really thick sidewall here to give this thing a more comfortable ride quality. If you guys look at the Rubicons, those have like 34-inch tall tires. All Gladiators will still have solid axles front and rear. That's always been a Jeep thing. Now, if you look at the size of the thing, this is the biggest Jeep Wrangler body that we've ever seen because of that new frame. It's 30 inches longer overall with a 19-inch longer wheelbase. Of course, that's basically all in the rear overhang to give you this 5-foot bed. Now, by the way, this configuration that you're seeing, you basically only can get it as the 4-door Unlimited. If you look at the cab, or the cab back to the bed, this is basically an Unlimited Wrangler with the same doors. You can also get the hard top. You can also get the soft top where you can remove the doors, you can fold down the windshield, you can take off the roof. So all the the things about the Wrangler are still preserved, but instead you get the bed. Now looking at the bed of the Gladiator, you can see it still uses the same taillights for the most part as the Wrangler. These ones are the upgraded LED taillights with the blind spot sensor kind of mounted on the side. Now the bed of this vehicle is surprisingly useful. I'm pretty impressed. Now in terms of the size, this is more like a compact to mid-size pickup truck, and it only comes with a 5-foot bed, as I said before. Payload capacity sits at around 1,560 pounds, which is pretty class competitive. If you guys properly equip this vehicle, it will tow up to 7,600 pounds. You can see the bed is nicely lined with a bed liner, and as you also saw, the tailgate is damped. So most pickup truck buyers are really curious to know what's going on underneath the hood. Thankfully, Jeep will probably end up satisfying most of you. The base engine will be this 3.6-liter Pentastar V6. We've seen this motor before in the Wrangler and other FCA products. It makes 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. This will be the engine at launch when this thing goes on sale in March of 2019. Now, those of you who are looking to tow a little bit more, looking for a little bit more power, the 3-liter EcoDiesel V6 will be available at a later date. This is basically the same diesel that we saw in the Grand Cherokee a couple of years ago. It makes 260 horsepower and a ridiculous 442 pound-feet of torque. Now, if you're looking at the competition, sure, there's the GMC Canyon and the Chevy Colorado that offer a diesel, but that's a 4-cylinder diesel that has 100 less horsepower and torque. So that diesel should be a really great addition. Jeep does not have any fuel economy information just yet, but as I said before, they will offer this with a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it should be able to tow up to 7,765 pounds. Jeep also wasn't able to quote the weight, but because it's bigger, I suspect this thing should be approaching 5,000 pounds, considering Wranglers can get pretty close to 4,800 pounds. I am looking forward to taking this out for a drive, but we'll have to wait until Jeep has more information on that at a later date. So if you guys have spent a lot of time in the Wrangler, the interior of the new Jeep Gladiator should be pretty familiar to you. This is practically identical. This particular one, I've switched to the Rubicon, has the same kind of red ionized trim that we like in the Wrangler Rubicon. You surprisingly have the stitching that goes across the upper part of the dash. Some of the other materials here, they're a little bit hard touch plastic, but that's perfectly fine. This is more of a utilitarian vehicle. Now, the one thing that Jeep really did improve with this current generation are the seats. The Rubicon seats that I'm sitting in, they're wrapped in leather, they're heated, they are very comfortable. They have a really soft headrest, and honestly, the view is pretty similar. The really thing you only notice is kind of there's a little bit more rear overhang. This particular one has the 8-speed automatic. You have an actual transfer case here for the 4-wheel drive system. You still have that decoupling differential, or the decoupling anti-roll bars and whatnot. You have a soft touch armrest here with 2 storage cup holders here. So overall, the inside's really nice. By the top into the back seat and see how that fares. So Jeep only offers the Gladiator in basically the 4-door Unlimited cab configuration, which is a good decision on their part because look at the space back here. In addition to having that space in the bed, you have very generous amounts of legroom in the back seats here. The floor is almost completely flat. You have 2 cup holders here, a power outlet, your window switches, and even a rear seat air vent. So that was really unexpected. 2 kind of mat pockets right here, and then there's even a nice little armrest that folds down. And you know what? You could easily put somebody who's almost 6 feet tall in the back seat here on longer trips with the roof off. I mean, this is a pretty cool vehicle. Now, speaking of which, if you guys are looking to purchase this all-new Jeep Gladiator, it will go on sale in March of 2019 with no pricing yet announced. Jeep says that it'll probably be a little bit more expensive than the current Wrangler. I estimate these can easily hit over $50,000 if you guys really wanted to go all out with the options. For Redline Reviews at the 2018 Los Angeles International Auto Show, I'm Sophion Bay.